Hi, my name is Jacob Scott, and the company I have is the Ford Motor Company. And we're going to be taking a look at a couple different things. And I just wanted to start with like a few things that we haven't really touched on in the chapter yet, but I personally can tell that like the Ford Company is not like the best investment to take. For number one, the quick ratio is a 1.01, and that basically means they barely meet the needs to pay off their liabilities. Now, can they pay off their liabilities? Yes, but at the end of the day, they're going to be broke after they do that. And the same thing with the current ratio. If you use current assets, which is that's what current ratio is talking about. So their cash, selling property, things like that, things that they can use to generate current assets like that. They're at a 1.21, which on average, a good ratio is anywhere from 1.5 to 3. So they're below that even. So they're not looking too great in the beginning, so to say. All right, now when we come down here and we look at the income statements, all right, revenue, as you can tell, in the past couple years, 2018, 2019, and 2020, they have gone down tragically. And I know it's not like a big drop from 2018 to 2019, but 2020, and I understand it was the COVID year and they had strikes and they had different things going on within their organization. They plummeted. They took a massive hit, and that does not look good in a financial aspect. Um, and then their operating income as a whole, and this is it's the look at profit after deducting operations expenses such as wages, depreciation, and cost of good. Below 15% is poor on average in companies. And they've steadily, from 2018, 2019 to 2020, have been below that 15%. In 2020, they're at 4.20%, which is not great as a whole. Um, and then just looking at things such as diluted earnings per share, they have not done a good job of getting money back to their stockholders and done things like that. And currently in 2020, this past year, they really were in the negatives. And I understand like COVID and everything happened, but other companies had COVID issues and they were able to not dip below this. So even owning stock in Ford, so to say, like in having shares in it, it's not really going to be a good wealthy turnout for you, and it's not going to be anything like exciting for a stockholder, so to say. Um, Now switching over to the balance sheet, let's look at total assets. Now, yes, their total assets have gone up throughout the years, which is great, but their total liabilities have also gone up, which is a mutual relationship. More assets, more liabilities are come along with it. But what really stands out to me um, is their cash and cash equivalents is also been increasing. And like I said, that's going to happen with an increase of their assets going out. So their assets and the overall term of them making money and having things that are of value to them is still like increasing, so to say, but so is their liability. So they kind of like counterbalance each other at the end of the day. And their debt is increasing like more and more. And with current issues going on with Ford as a whole, which I will get to eventually after I get through the balance sheet, just off of some background knowledge I had. They are paying a lot of customers money back due to recalls and things like that. So their debt is only going to increase because they're paying to buy back these cars and these transmissions and things. So it's only going to get worse for Ford as time increases. Now let's go back to the income statement. Where is it? I just had it. Net income. Oh, there it is. My bad. Net income as a whole is declining, and that's not good. They're losing money more than they're gaining. They're not really being a sufficient company, so to say. So after looking at the financial statement, you can see Ford is having trouble right now. They are a company that has some form of book value. They have historical means. They were around for a long time, but as of present day, right now, they are struggling. Um, Return on equity. Oh, return on equity is also, I wanted to touch on this in the top, is at 10.44. And a good return on equity is around, I think, like 15%. I'm pretty sure, which is decent. So they're not way far behind, but they're pretty ways behind. And and another thing, I don't know if I touched on this yet. Return on assets is at 1.32%. So the overall marketplace for all companies, a good number is at 5%. That's good. And they're literally at 1.32. So like I said earlier, with quick ratio and current ratios being shown, they barely can pay off their liabilities they're generating. So to say Ford takes another big hit, who's to say the company will be able to withstand keeping its doors open? Um, Looking at some other things I've researched about Ford Company just to show, I just wanted to show their stock value, okay, over the past year. And this is including COVID times and everything. So clearly they're going to dip down a little lower. So let's go back all the way to a year ago today, even September 2nd, which will be tomorrow. They're at $7 roughly, okay? And then if we come all the way to present day, they're at $13. So yes, they are increasing in stock value, but if you look at it over the past, they haven't increased too much. They stay pretty consistent. And actually, as of June of 2021, they have been doing nothing but declining with no peaks increasing over that. And like I said, they've been having issues this year already. Not only them, but car companies over the world itself are having issues with super chips and the production being halted due to these super chips that go into cars not being produced and being distributed fast enough. Even Tesla's having issues with this right now. But what I wanted to show why I think this company is not a good thing to invest in, I repeat that, I do not think they're a good thing to invest in, is because look at this most current issue, okay? This is from Detroit, and this is the home of Ford. Ford was built in Detroit. That's their main source of operations. They have other companies in Canada and all over the world, so to say. But as of 2020, they were having issues with transmissions in Fiestas, which is this type of car. And it was a manual car, and it was having issues shifting, and it was jerky and clunky, and a lot of people were complaining about this, and it was delaying their acceleration, wasting gas mileage. It was destroying the car. The transmission going out is pretty expensive in a newer car, and it actually decreases the value of the car immediately as soon as you take it off the lot. So customers were not making their money back at all. Even if they went to sell the car back, they instantly lost tons of money, which happens anyways, taking a car off of a lot. But this is drastically decreasing it. So, for example, right here, this Emma Baines actually ended up having Ford buy her car back. Not for full value, but they bought it back for a lot, more than most people would make, because it was a 2012 Focus. This isn't even a Fiesta that was having the transmission issues, but they had issues with this before, and Ford had to dump $17,000 out, roughly 18,000 if we want to rough it, estimate it upwards, to this woman just because they were having issues on a car that was from 2012 that wouldn't even be of value at $17,000. So there's tons of issues that are happening to the Ford company that is causing them to, one, have more debt, ruining their net income, causing more liabilities, causing more harm to their revenue and their net income as a whole. So that's, to me, why I don't think Ford's a good company to go with. And even not looking at the General Motors, who's my so to say uh, similar company that we have in this class, I think General Motors is already going to have the upper hand, because I don't have the statistic pulled up, but Ford literally only has like 7% to 12% of the general population for vehicle purchases as a whole already, and that includes Ford and Lincoln's. So, with that being said, Ford has no over overview, so to say, of customers. They don't have a lot of retained earnings coming back. They don't have a lot of things like that to like make me as an investor want to invest in them, because I feel as if in the next few years, maybe not 5, maybe not even 10, Ford is going to be in a rough place, and their stocks are going to go for pennies, I feel like. And that's just my guess, but I know that's a little extreme. But at the end of the day, I don't feel like Ford is a very good investment for people. And they don't really have anything going for them. They haven't really partnered with anybody. They haven't came out with these new versions of cars. The only style of thing they've done is try to make an eco-friendly motor, and they've had issues with that and recalls with the motor blowing up and things. Not even present in these issues. So I just think Ford is becoming an obsolete company, so to say. And with that, I would like to say thank you and have a good one.